Okay, my name is Matthew Philip. I will be taking you from intro to entrepreneurship as well as business and mindset orientation, then business model canvas. So that's what we are going to be doing today. So I am going to implore you to be as attentive as possible, take good notes. Then also, my presentation style is an interactive style. So I am going to be learning from you, you'll be learning from me, and you're also going to be learning from each other. So I am going to implore you to be as attentive as possible and as participatory as possible. So before I proceed to share my slide, I would like you to introduce yourself. I would like to meet you, but let's make use of the chat box. In case you don't know how to use the chat box, look at the lower part of your device. You will see an icon, like chat icon. Click on it, then type your message. So drop the following information on the chat box: your full name, the nature of business. Are you a startup or existing business? Your full name, the nature of business, startup or existing business, then your business name. So those are the four information I want from you, because this will help me to understand the participants and their industry and how to provide solution to whatever problem or questions that you are going to ask. Please, let's go ahead and use the chat box and drop your message. Let's do that in the next 2 minutes. We don't know what you are into. Eshua Solomon, we don't know what you are into. Adio Oshola says into poultry business. Okay, fantastic. Fala Babatunde, Samson. Okay, we don't know what you are into. Adeyemo Jonathan, crop producer. Okay, okay. Victoria, you don't know what you are into. You only said startup. Okay, then we have Adeshola Samuel, startup business. Somebody said fish farming. Okay, she's Sonia. Okay, Adebitek, this is fantastic. Unripe plantain flour production, good. Okay, so with what I've seen so far, it's like we have more of startups, businesses, and we also have more of agri and food processing. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we are going to start. I'm going to be sharing my screen. So the first class for today is Intro to Entrepreneurship. Intro to Entrepreneurship. If you can see my screen, can you unmute and say yes? Or you use the chat box, drop the message. If you can see
the screen. Yes, I can see the screen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So as I said earlier, it's like we have a lot of startups in this group. So I'm going to be dwelling more with startup businesses. Okay. So now, when you hear the word entrepreneur, what comes to your mind? Who is an entrepreneur? Before that, let me give us the objective of this presentation while you are thinking through my question. Okay. The objectives of this presentation are: number one, at the end of the presentation, we are going to help you to understand the meaning and concept of entrepreneurship. Then also, we are also going to help you to identify who is an entrepreneur. Then to also understand characteristics and functions of an entrepreneur. Then the major goal is for you to develop an entrepreneurship mindset. I know that some of you are already in business. Some of you are currently doing well, fantastically. While some, you are about to start your business enterprise. So this session is going to be like a reminder to some who are already in business. Okay, and it's also going to be an informative and educative session for those who are intending to go. So, if you get the word entrepreneur, what comes to your mind? The word entrepreneur, what comes to your mind? You can use the chat box. You can also unmute, introduce yourself, and drop your answer to my question. Okay. So I'm calling on Solomon Eshwa. Are you there? Solomon Eshwa, when you hear the word entrepreneur, what is your take about the word entrepreneur? Who is an entrepreneur? Deepak said that an entrepreneur is someone who is taking risks of finances in business. Okay, so his own perspective, his definition comes through the risk aspect. So an entrepreneur is someone who is taking risks in the business, according to Deepak on the chat box. Okay, so Adebite said that an entrepreneur is someone who renders services or sells goods in order to make profit. Very good. Render services or sell goods in order to make profit. Fantastic. Then Jonathan Adeyemo said that an entrepreneur is anybody who has an initiative to produce something with available resources. Wow, these are fantastic definitions. These are very, very good definitions. So then I also have Victoria. Victoria said that an entrepreneur is a person who sees opportunities around him and ready to make use of it. Wow, these are fantastic definitions. Now, if you take a look at all the definitions I have gotten so far, you can see that you agree with me that these are activities that you are involving on a daily basis as an entrepreneur. Someone mentioned risk-taking, service providing, production, utilizing the available resources, scouting for opportunities, you know, and the list is endless. According to Caleb Sheldon, he said an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business venture, bearing the risks associated with it. So, entrepreneurship is all about risk-taking. And I have a definition on my screen there that entrepreneurship is an organizational and management approach that enables person or individual to respond to change and solve problems, whatever situation they find themselves. So entrepreneurship helps people to think on how to solve identified problems. So it's key as an entrepreneur. Also, we say that a person who has the ability to identify and evaluate business opportunities in the environment, they gather the resources to take advantage of the business opportunities and initiate appropriate action for success. So risk is also embedded in all these definitions. Because as an entrepreneur, we must always be on the lookout for opportunities. So it's from opportunities that risk-taking comes in. So after identifying the opportunities, you gather the resources that are available within your domain and in order to meet the identified needs. So entrepreneurship is also all about problem solving. It's also all about problem solving. Now, let's take a look at characteristics of an entrepreneur. Characteristics of an entrepreneur. And there are so many characteristics of an entrepreneur or qualities that an entrepreneur should imbibe. So, but for time purpose, I have just picked some key Okay, and one of them is self-discipline. As an entrepreneur, self-discipline is key. If you must build a business that must become a global business, you must pay careful attention to discipline. How disciplined are you as an entrepreneur? How disciplined are you in terms of resource management? How disciplined are you in terms of time management? How disciplined are you in terms of self-management? It takes a disciplined entrepreneur to be able to utilize the available resources, especially the financial resources of the business, for the resources to have multiplier effect on the business enterprise. And this is what a lot of entrepreneurs lack: self-discipline. A lot of entrepreneurs find it difficult to separate the business finance to personal finance. And that is one of the major setbacks to businesses in Nigeria. And that is one of the reasons why businesses don't grow in Nigeria. There's a survey that I read recently. Out of 100 businesses that start at the same time, up to 60% of that business will not see the second year. Then from the 60% of it, then 80% of the outstanding will not survive up to 5 years. Only about 1% of all the businesses will get to 10 years. And this is as a result of so many factors. As I will always say, and I will say it again, that the major challenge that mitigates against the growth of businesses, especially in this part of the world, is internal, not really the external challenge. We know the external challenge is there, enabling environment need to be there, infrastructure need to be there, but the major challenge that an entrepreneur should pay attention to first is self. Human nature is naturally lazy. Human nature is not ready to take extra mile. Human nature is comforted even in a discomfort zone. He is not ready for that mental shift. So until you beat yourself, until you overcome your self-limiting factors, and be ready to take that risk, to take that bold step, to bring your business idea into reality, or to scale your existing business, you will continue in a cyclical cycle of poverty. And that business can hardly grow if you don't work on self-discipline. It takes self-discipline for an entrepreneur to wake up in the midnight to plan for the business. It takes self-discipline for you to deliver on your promises to your customers. It takes self-discipline for you to be consistent in your value deliveries. I ask you again, how disciplined are you as an entrepreneur? The next is delegating. I am not a Liverpool fan, but I believe in their slogan, never walk alone. Ask yourself, are you walking alone? In this part of the world, you know, entrepreneurs or business owners, they always want to do everything by themselves. We have so many perfectionists. We feel that others cannot do better as we can do. That is a wrong mentality. If you must build a business enterprise that will grow to become a sustainable business or a global business, you must have delegating skill. As an entrepreneur, your job is supposed to be to concentrate on building strategic alliance, to concentrate on monitoring activities and flow of processes in your business. It is not tax, but what we do here is that a lot of us concentrate more on tax. We want to complete a task, complete this task, complete the task, complete this task. So if we must scale, we have to let go. Concentrate only on activities that are within your strength. Concentrate only on tasks that are within your domain. Outsource those other activities that are like distractions to you. Outsource them. Bring in people. Delegate and monitor. Once you delegate, all you need to do is to monitor, to supervise, to ensure that they are delivering on your expectations. Then result-oriented. You can't be an entrepreneur and don't be serious about results. Every day you should have a goal. Every day you should have a target of what you intend to achieve. So an entrepreneur is somebody that is always result-focused, result-oriented. What is the possible outcome? What are the expected outcome? Persistency is key if you must grow as an entrepreneur. You know, a lot of patience is required because entrepreneurship is like a lonely road, especially for those of you who are just about to start. It is not a funny road at all. It is not a bed of roses. It's going to stretch your patient quotient. So you are going to be tested in so many ways. But it takes a persistent and patient entrepreneur to strive and build a business that can outlive him or her. So what are you facing in your business today? Are you about to quit? Why don't you just hang in there a bit and try to get it right? Then the next is quality-mindedness. As an entrepreneur, you don't joke with quality. Your service, quality should be the watchword, not profit. There are some entrepreneurs that they are just pursuing profit at the expense of relationship, at the expense of future growth. It's not about today. You might not be making that profit today or making the expected income today, but somebody is watching somewhere. Most customers they prefer to patronize organizations that are quality-minded. So if quality is your watchword, please do not water the standard. Keep it up. There are some customers that can pay any price to get quality, to get comfort, to get convenience. So don't say because of price, you water down your quality, you water down your standard. Then risk-taking. Risk-taking is a major attribute that you don't joke with. If not, you will remain static. An entrepreneur is somebody that is very, very flexible. You are ready to take risks. When you identify a risk, you go ahead and organize the necessary resources and take up that risk. But mind you, an entrepreneur takes calculated risks. So you must always evaluate your risks before you venture into it, not just anyhow risks. Then, integrity is a watchword that an entrepreneur who must grow, who must build a business that will become a global brand should not joke with. How integrous are you? That's the question I want to ask you. When you promise your customers, your investors, your clients, do you deliver on your promises? If you can't meet up, do you communicate? So this is all about delivering on your value at the right time. Doing what you say you will do without watering the standard. If there's anything you must take from this training today, it is that you are in business not because of money. You are in business to solve problems. And it is in solving problems It is in meeting needs that you make money. And in meeting these needs, you must be integrous. Please, if you are the type that cheats on people, if you are the type that cut corners, the shocking news is that it's just a matter of time. You can't build a sustainable business using that kind of model. So, and if you take a look at a function of an entrepreneur, there are so many functions that we play as an entrepreneur. If you are not yet in business and you are about to go into business, you have to know what you're about to go into. You have to do anything. There are so many roles entrepreneurs play, so many functions they perform. And one of the functions is what? Marketing and sales. Marketing and sales. If you are an entrepreneur and you cannot market your product, and you cannot sell your product, or you cannot introduce your product or services to anyone, or you cannot convert leads to sales, then there's a problem. Then you also aside marketing and sales, the same person is doing managing people. The most difficult aspect of entrepreneurship is managing people. HR is key. This is killing. So you know, I do business development services. There are some clients that once they come, they lay their complaint, and by the time you go to the organization and meet with each of the staff, interview them, get feedback, so that you can diagnose what really is the problem. You find out that the problem is even the entrepreneur. You see some entrepreneurs shouting at their staff, screaming. You see some entrepreneurs being aggressive at their staff. Human resources is key. If you must grow, if you must be the business that will grow, you have to get your HR right. Planning, organizing, entrepreneurs don't joke with this. That's why businesses that are prone to become big brands today, up till now, they still do board meetings. They still do weekly meetings. They still have end of the year meeting, end of the month meeting. They get feedbacks, they evaluate, they monitor their growth. Without planning and organizing, you can't monitor or trace your growth. Risk management is also key as an entrepreneur. Every day you have to evaluate the possible risks. Any decision you want to make, what are the potential risks? How do we mitigate this? Production and delivery is also, this is where almost all entrepreneurs, this is where they always delve into. This is where they